I'm going to import in a NURBS curve sphere so I can put the attributes on the sphere, and those attributes will control the fingers. I don't actually want to use a regular NURBS sphere. I want to have a special NURBS curve sphere, which I'm going to import. I just downloaded these shapes from other characters. I have one called Sphere Transform, and in the outliner you'll see it's only one curve. We want all of our control objects just to be one curve, and I'll scale it up and move it close to the wrist. I'll hold the V button, and then I could actually snap it to the wrist, and I'm going to put it up above it a little bit. And remember to freeze your transformations. I'm going to call it finger control. And to add an attribute to an object, attributes are things such as translation, rotation, and scale. Those are the default attributes. We're not going to use those, so we can go up to the channel editor under Edit, Channel Control, and we see that all these are keyable, but we're not going to rotate it, scale it, or translate it. So I'm going to hit the Move button to make it unkeyable. Now you'll see in the channel control there are no attributes shown, because the channel control only shows you attributes that are animatable or keyable. I'm going to add my own attribute. I'll go to Edit, Add Attribute. I'm going to call it Index Curl, and it's going to be a float value, so it'll be a decimal number like 1.28 or something. The minimum value will be -10. The max value would be 10, and the default 0. You could also use a -1 and 1, but I like -10 and 10. And hit Add, and now you'll see that there's Index Curl showing up under my channel editor. You can pick it, and you'll see the min and max value by using my middle mouse button can go back and forth. Now I'm going to use set driven key to get the fingers to curl when I make this value go back and forth. So I'll go to Animate, Set Driven Key Set. Now my driver is going to be the object with the attribute on it. I'll hit Load Driver. It's going to be the index curl. And my driven part is going to be the joints for my finger. I hit Load Driven, pick all three of these, and it's going to be the Z rotation. Now when my index curl is at 0, I want my finger to be straight, so I'm going to hit key. That sets the relationship between the index curl and the rotation in Z. Now I'm going to make this index curl value be 10, and I'm going to pick my finger joints and rotate them inward until the tip of the finger touches the palm of the hand. I'll turn off the X-ray joint option so I can get a better look, and something like that looks good. So I'll go back to the set driven key window and hit key. Now I'll pick my index curl and make it go -10. You see how the finger went straight. I'm going to pick those index fingers again and bend them backwards. Now you can't really bend your fingers back that way, even if you're double jointed. Maybe you can move them part way. I'm going to pick a value, say 35. That'll be as far back as I want my finger to bend. So I'll go back to set driven key and hit key again. So now when I pick my controller and I put my value at 0, it's going to be flat. If I put it at 10, it curls inward. -10 curls outward. And the fun part is it smoothly animates back and forth. So that's using set driven key to use a custom attribute to move a finger. Now you can do this on each finger of your hand, by adding extra attributes. Have one for index curl, one for middle curl, one for pinky curl, and one for the thumb as well. And then you could pick all those attributes, change the curl value, and you'll make a fist. Here's a finished example of this type of hand rig on the Scott character. It's the latest character rig I've worked on. So I select the control object for the hand, a sphere, just like the other hand I was showing, and you see the different attributes here. I use an index, a middle left, and a pinky value that have the channels locked to differentiate the different fingers. I've seen other people do this. I think it's a nice idea. So here's the finger curl, just like I did on the other character. It'll move the finger, index finger in and out. If you just pick each individual finger, you can make a fist. You can curl the thumb in by curling the thumb. And if you zero out all these values, the hand opens up. And I also added a spread value, so you can move your fingers outward and wiggle them if you want. If I move all of my spread values out, it makes a wide fist, or actually it makes kind of a weird shape, because your middle finger, when you make a splayed hand, it doesn't actually spread out, but it's still nice to be able to wiggle your fingers back and forth. So this is an example of a hand rig using attributes on a control object to get the fingers to move easily.